in my father's immediate family, and his siblings and all that, there was 11 children, and the father and mother. My old grandfather, Michael Quinn, and his wife, Catherine. But they had 11 children. And they reared them children on 7 acres of rocks. That's right. You look at the land up there. My home place was up the road there, about a couple of 100 yards, and it's up in the mountain. Right? And that was hard work. And my Uncle Mick and my father, they sold a mare at the time of the war, you know, and they sold it in Dundalk Fair for £75. And that was unheard of for the price. That mare was going to the war. Well, like, they would have been young men, we say, at the turn of the century, you know, we say the early part of 1910 and around that. Like my father, he was in the 4th Northern Division in 20 and 16 and, you know, all that. So they sold that mare, and they dug 2 acres of land with the spades and planted spuds. You know, and wheeled the down out with the barrow and all that to plant them spuds, we say. And that was, so, like, it was hard going. There was nothing easy that time. When my father met my mother, you know, he was training with all the Frank Aikens and the different ones that come. They were training in Cullyhanna football field. Now, my mother come from, you see that mountain over there, just over here?
Yeah.
See that mountain there? She just came from the other side of that mountain, you see. And she was in Cullyhanna Parish, on the very outskirts, you know, on the very borderline on the outside of it.
On the side of it.
Yeah. And he would be coming home from training on the Sunday evening. They would train every Sunday over there, in Armand and all this and that. And he was coming home there on this Sunday evening, and it was into the nice long evenings, and she was sitting on the ditch herding the cows, just there on the ditch. And he sat down to talk to her, you see. And so then he bade her good evening and headed on back, across on over the fields to here. And the next Sunday then he was there again, coming home, and she was on the ditch again, looking after the cows. And he sat down and talked to her again, and he says, will you be here next Sunday evening again? And that was the first date he put on.
To meet her at the ditch.
Yeah, well, yeah, and she said she would. And coming home the next evening there she was, and when he come home 3 or 4 evenings, on the 3rd evening I think it was, when he was coming after putting on his date, she invited him down to the house. So he knew he was going places then, you see.
Get the feet under the table.
Yeah, but the wedding then, they started off here, him and me uncles, and we say, and they walked across them fields to Cullyhanna. There was no taxi or anything like that. You know, I think she went on a trap. She went on a pony and trap to Cullyhanna. And him and her then come back to her house on the pony and trap, and everybody else walked, you see, you know. And then they had a bit of a dance on the party there in her house till the early hours of the morning, and then he and all his brothers and sisters and all come back home here. Do you see?
With her?
What?
With her?
No. Oh no, she didn't come for another week. Do you see? And then he went with the pony and trap, or the pony and chart, horse and chart, we say, and he went over, and then whatever bits and pieces she was getting, he had them on the chart home with him. And I was watching a film there last week, The Quiet Man. You have all seen it, The Quiet Man. And where a man went with the horse and chart to take the woman home after getting married, we say in 3 or 4 days after, the same thing was on there. And I was just looking at that photograph of my father there, and the bride stood up and he stood down. You know, the 2 of them wasn't standing for the photograph. And he is just down walking boots on him that he would have had out, setting the spuds on that. He had just down walking boots on him. And that was in 1925, I think it was. Yes, my father always played music.
What did he play?
He played the fiddle and he played the melodeon. played the fiddle and the melodeon. And he could have played the mouth organ. I think he was musical just in general, you know. And could sing. He always was singing. Never stopped bloody was singing, you know. Yeah. Even if we peeling spuds there for my mother in later years when they weren't working and we peeling the spuds, he'd be singing. You know.
What sort of songs?
All the songs, God, he sung all the good songs. He would have sung the Mountains of Pomeroy and Roddy McCauley and, you know, all them songs, you know.
Big ballads, yeah.
Yeah, and the Dubliners come on then, and I would be wanting to hear them, you see, singing. They'd be maybe come on the radio, maybe when I'd be in for me dinner the day. And he would say, the bugger's more than it, you know. Ronnie's real Luke Kelly, they weren't singing it right at all. You know, he's more than it. Yes. So he would have sang the songs that the Dubliners would have sang as well. My father, Bobby Hanvey, came round one time. We come round the country doing different ones, we say.
For downtown radio.
Something like that, we say. But he brought me father, or a man here to record me father. Yeah. And my father made a long playing record all in one evening.
Billy McBurney was the man.
McBurney, that's the boy.
A blackguard, if ever there was.
Yeah. He was a year older than me when he made that record.
Wow.
He was 83 years of age. Hadn't he done that here in the house?
The Rambling Man, he was called.
The Rambling Man. That's right. Them old songs, you know, come back. The Newton Highland Fair. Newton Hamilton Highland Fair.
Right,
and I drove me goat before me to Newton Highland Fair. You know, he was taking the nanny goat, whoever this was, said be sold in Newton Hamilton, and he sold it for 19 pence. You know, no more she'd be seen in the garden eating the lovely heads of kale, no more she'd be seen on the kitchen floor cutting many's the square, you know, and all this, you know. You know, but it was a great song. My own family, I don't know, like my Aunt Annie would have sang and she could have played with I don't know how many more now could have done that, you know. My brother Seamus, Martin Quinn, the accordion player, from way up at
Martin, yeah, I know Martin.
Way up at Strathhead. We say he fixes the accordions now and all that. Oh God, he was great man at fixing and tuning accordions and all that.
Is he a nephew of yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Know that connection.
Oh, he's fantastic. Like he's really good at his job, you know.
He's great, and he makes great boxes. Yes.
Yeah. He has his own brand box now.
That's right. Yeah.
So
he's a nephew.
A nephew.
So
yes.
His father sang or played.
His father would have sang, not played, but he would have sang. Then Martin played, and Michael's family nearly all played music.
Sean,
that plays the banjo, and Pauline, and Catherine will play the best on the fiddle, like, but they didn't keep it up, you know. Pauline was a good whistle player, you know.
That's right.
She's what do you call it, the pub above in Dublin.
Tom.
I used to play now, sing a row melodeon, you know, and then for me, I think it was my 60th birthday, Owens went and bought me a melodeon. The other one that fell to pieces, I suppose, and they bought me a melodeon, you see.
Who taught you the melodeon?
Just myself. My father went to Newry away when I was 9 years old or thereabouts, and he come home with a wee melodeon, you see. And Jesus, when I was about 10 or 12, boy, that was dancing on my knee playing. But I would hear them playing, we say, at out parties and things, you know.
You just
like after California and all them sorts, you know, them.
Hornpipes.
Yeah, and that jig and reel and the girl left behind me and them sort of things, you know. You would be playing at that, but I never played them more than for long or long.
Brian, tell me, when you heard a tune like say off the California and you heard them playing it, you obviously didn't have a tape recorder to record it.
No.
So you had to play it
just
from memory.
Take it in your head. Take it in your head. And that was the one good point about it then, you see, if I was playing it wrong, my father would say, stop, you're wrong there, you know. And then he would whistle it, or maybe take the melodeon off me and play it, you know. But I had him, you see.
And it wasn't written down either?
Oh, not at all. God no, there was no such thing as music that time. Down there at that house, just when you come to the crossroads there, that's what I was telling you, come that old house of Javis. Just before you come to that, there's a house there on your left hand side, about 50 yards back from the crossroads, coming from Belik. and that was known as Jimmy the Master.
Right.
And I don't, he wasn't a schoolmaster, like he was just, but he must have been a master of dancing or something like that.
He could have been a dance master.
And music, you see. He was known as Jimmy the Master. And the reckon, my father and all the ones at that time, Barney Ned and the ones around here, that the 3 tunes on the Sweets for Me and them tunes would have been lost only for Jimmy the Master's house down here.
What was his second name?
He was Jimmy McParland.
McParland.
But he never was known by that. He was always known as the Master.
Right. Then Philomena, Lord of Mercy.
Yeah. She played the banjo.
Where did you meet her? Where's she from?
She's just from down the road, just over the hill there. Yeah. Carrick McGavin. Yeah.
And was she playing music when you met her?
Oh, aye. God, she was. She played the banjo, yeah, and her brother played the guitar. Yeah.
What was her maiden name?
Murphy. My sister Bridget, her family played, you know, and she has a grandson, Meet Hall Muckian. He's in Australia now at the minute. And Jesus, if you heard him playing Tommy, you would say, oh Christ, you would sit and listen. Yeah, I reckon he's the best box player nearly ever did. And there was one night, the Fla in Donegal, if you remember that year, it was at the All Ireland Fla was in Donegal. Breach was playing, and Patricia were playing. Philomena wasn't there, she was gone at this time. And they were playing. And this man from Belfast was sitting beside me, and he says, where's that girl from playing the fiddle? Yeah, and I say it should be from the county Armagh, no, not the city of Armagh. He says, would she have known John Murphy? I say John Murphy was our teacher. Aha, he says I could tell that coming through.
You could hear Murphy.
He could hear Murphy, yeah. He says John Murphy's style of playing. Now, did you notice that, Tommy? You be a music man now, and you have heard her playing several times.
I've heard her, I've been listening to her playing for decades, and she has that sweetness of tone.
You know,
John Murphy, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You know, she's a very relaxed player.
Yeah.
She's not tense and very smooth. And Murphy, anybody that went to John Murphy came up with that sort of style of playing. You know.